What's good, Tsla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys a very quick market update and talk about Tesla stock. But let me first say that I'm not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And don't forget about the Moomoo link. The offer ends very soon. Deposit $100 and you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Put in $1,000 and you're guaranteed 15 free stocks. Anyways, when it comes to Tesla in the market, we got this big drop on Tesla. And this is what I warned everyone about this support right here at 198. If we broke this, I told you we're going to be expecting a big move to the downside towards 195, if not 192.5. That's exactly where Tesla ended up dropping to. And the question is, what's going to happen from here? I'll talk about this in just a minute. Please know that we're seeing a lot of headlines coming out. Tesla Chinese shipments plunged to the lowest in more than a year. Tesla has declining sales, this and that. There's a risk to Tesla's Q1 report coming out for deliveries. And the reason for that, and this is what like the headlines are basically saying, the reason for that is because the Tesla Chinese made EV wholesale sales have decreased by 19%. And the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, did play a big role in why that ended up happening. That's very, very important. There could be another potential catalyst that caused that. It could be even like demand issues. Not a guarantee on that end. I think it has more to do with the Chinese New Year holiday. So we're seeing a lot of headlines about this. I actually have a really nice picture here about the sales in China, so I can actually show you this real quick. Let me open this in a new tab. Give me one second, guys. But right here, as you guys could see, we're getting some interesting reports. This red bar, which I showed you guys earlier, shows what happened in 2024. There's a slight decrease in their sales in February, and this happened to not just Tesla, but all these other companies. NEO, BYD saw a big decline in sales too. Same thing with Li Auto. So the entire EV sector is getting affected by this. Tesla took a big hit, and we got this quadruple top-like formation, which led to this big break in Tesla. We lost 198, so that's why Tesla ended up dropping like this. Exactly what I warned you guys about. And now we're going to be watching this. So we have some support at 192.5. Now we have our key resistance at 195. And generally, when we're in areas like this, especially with this bad news coming out, Tesla tends to be very choppy. So we're kind of just chopping around the 192. Still look very, very weak. If we do lose this 192 support, you could be watching for 190.5 to 190. That's coming. And we have to see if we could hold above 190. If we do lose that, we could get closer to like 188, 187.5 to 188. So we want to be very, very careful, at least for the time being. So we'll see how this goes. It's looking very weak, guys. So be careful with Tesla. We might just consolidate in the 192 area for some time, and we could end up losing it. So it still looks kind of weak. We could come all the way down to 190. So be careful, all Tesla investors out there. I'm still a big Tesla bull for the long term, but for the short term, we're not looking the best, especially because of this new news that came out. Now, despite this, SPY of all things is still holding up decently. It's been very, very choppy so far. It's still in the red, but I want to just note to everyone, we have to see which way SPY breaks. It's super, super indecisive right now. We need to see this thing basically lose the 512 area to start to turn more bearish. And we have to see if it can try to break above 512.6. If it breaks that high, it could start pushing to much higher levels. Otherwise, it's just stuck in the range. It is starting to turn a little bit right here, so there's a risk of it coming down lower. But overall, it's just remaining very, very choppy, very, very sideways. We're still waiting for the SPY to make its decision. It is showing a little bit of weakness, but we have to wait and see. So be very patient on SPY. There is a risk of it coming down, but it's still taking its time and very choppy for now. The QQQ has declined a bit. It's actually currently at 444. I warned everyone about 442. We lost 445, so watch that as our next resistance alongside 446.25. If we keep this decline going, if we lose 444, I'd be expecting, excuse me, I'd be expecting 443.5 and 442. And it's not dropping super hard. It's just a very, very slow decline. But overall, there's a risk of that. For Nvidia is still holding up very nicely. It pushed up to this 850 resistance. But then we were starting to just kind of fight it right here as it's very tough. Watch it come down to 845 as our next critical support. If we lose that, there's 842 followed by 838. So watch these supports on Nvidia. It's still holding up nicely, but we have some tight resistance at 850, and we'll see how it does. If we do break 850, we could actually push back up towards this wick right here. So just above 852. But overall, it's kind of struggling to break 850. So we'll see if Nvidia declines a little bit, which could slow the QQQ down. So watch 850's resistance. It could kind of reject a bit. And last but not least, we have the one and only Aapl stock. As I told everyone, Apple's looking bearish. We actually lost 176.5. So now we're heading down. We just lost 175 as well. There's 174 coming next. If that fails us, we're just going to watch this every level at a time. I'm going to be watching 172.5 next if we end up losing the 174 support. And they're even lower levels. So just be very, very careful with Apple, at least for now. I'm seeing some weakness right over here. I also want to call out this level right here. So very close to this 173.25 area, this zone right here. I'm going to be looking at that as well. But overall, it looks pretty weak to me. There's going to be a risk of it coming down to 172 if we end up failing at 174. We already called this move since the morning. I told you that Apple might come down, and that's what's happening so far. So this is as predicted. So we'll see how things go. We'll see how SPY holds up. It's funny how other tickers are showing some weakness, besides SPY is still kind of like choppy for the time being. So we'll see how it does. With that being said, guys, be very careful with Tesla. It's very, very sideways right now in the 192s. There is a risk of this thing dropping even lower. And also, don't forget to be watching our different levels. Don't forget to be watching what's going on with more data that's coming out, and with the Chinese news that came out, not the best for Tesla. Be very careful, guys. There is a risk of more downside. And also for SPY, watch your levels because that could also affect Tesla. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thank you for listening. Have a great day and peace out.